Alright, welcome back. This will be a very, very important video. Alright. Yeah, it's time. It's happening. So, first of all, I'm going to get into the charts in a little bit. I'm going to cover some news, some breaking news that came out today. And then, we're going to talk about how this is the Black Swan event. And, you could definitely, this is when you get the big moves. The real big moves in the market. So, if any of you are interested in joining, now's the time for the private group. By the way, metals exploded. Well, I don't want to say exploded, not yet, but they definitely had a huge move up today. The ETFs are up massively, and the ETFs of mining stocks and the ones that follow the metals spot price, right, or the futures price. But anyways, the smart money knows. They're going into metals, guys. I know the markets keep going higher and higher, but it just can't keep going on like this. When you see pictures like this, just Freightliners are the massive boats, the cargo ships for all the trade in the world, just anchored outside of all the major ports in Asia. Yeah, there's going to be ramifications. Even if what should I call this? Because I have to be careful. My videos, they'll get Chateau banned, right? You just have to say a few words, guys, and your video is not going to it's not going to get any traction. Let's call it the COV. Because my previous videos, they were, they messed with them. Like, they don't get any traction. The only people watching my videos are the people who have been my subscribers. Alright, so the COV, right? Even if that goes away in the next few months or something, the damage has been done, okay? Now look at this. Finally. Now you guys understand they just started testing in the US. Just started testing. There's 26 people already in New York who are under lockdown. I can't say certain words. So look how close it is, this county, to New York City. Here's Long Island. And then all around New York City, guys, it's just heavily dense. I'm not exactly sure, it's like, what, 7 million in the city? And then around it, there's even more. So, I don't know, maybe 15, who knows? Probably 20 million on this entire map I'm showing you. There's Connecticut up here. Philadelphia's right down here, right? So, and not just that, this is the financial hub, technically, of the world because of the NYSE, right? And then there's also the CME in Chicago. And then in London is the other financial capital. And Hong Kong. It just doesn't end. And Japan. So all the spots that are getting hit hard right now Japan is look at Japan, guys. I told you guys, watch Japan. It's at 626 confirmed. Already one fatality. I hope because I used that word. Anyways, the U.S. just jumped to 29, but if it's probably this is gonna start jumping quickly. And then look at Germany. They're gonna jump soon. Yeah. So even if it's slowing down in mainland, it's accelerating outside of it. Because, guys, the rest of the world is not taking precautions like mainland. Now you guys have to understand Japan, yeah, they're probably all wearing masks, but Asia, this entire region is used to this type of stuff. You could go there year round, there's people wearing masks. It's just a normal thing for them. In Europe, nobody's wearing anything. Every other continent, every other country, everyone's walking around like nothing's going on. In the US, it's never even happened before. Like, I can't name me when was the last time everyone wore a mask. Like, never. Um, these countries that report nothing, it's probably like spreading like wildfire, and it's because they don't have any way to test. They're just marking them down as natural causes, right? So it's spreading. It's definitely spreading. Probably just as bad as it did in mainland. It's just no one's really talking about it or reporting on it. And there's once it hits a critical point where there's just like every day someone's like croaking, falling over in the streets. That's when your videos will start surfacing, and then emergencies start happening. But by then it's too late. And now you have to question: is the rest of the world going to be able to do what China did? No way. Like, not to that level. Like machines with like snowblowers driving around spraying bleach water or who knows what. Um, Only there you could really pull that off, because you have to understand that society, that culture, it's been almost more than half a century under rule, totalitarian rule, where the people are used to being told what to do. They all, will fall in line. The rest of the world, no way. I mean, when they shut down all the roads and this, when it gets crazy, and not just that, the rest of the world doesn't have masks because they took them all already. It's going to be nuts. Anyways, but listen, prepare for the worst, hope for the best. Hopefully, the warm weather will, slow it. Hopefully, it'll mutate and it'll be less, mortality and fatality will go down so just dramatically, because these do mutate to not kill the host, and that happens more so than it mutating to be more deadly. So, and that's just that. I don't want to say that word. A cure is, hopefully it'll come out. Of course, if they have it today, it'll probably take, like they say, up to 8 months to 16 months, something crazy. But hope for the best, prepare for the worst. That's all I have to say. So, metals moved up. Like, my portfolio, the gains today were huge, and it's just the beginning. I told you guys, once gold breaks above 1600 major resistance, it's going to start shooting up like a rocket. So here's what I'm going to do. I want to see how this works out. I am going to do a fire sale, not a fire sale, flash sale. Reports 300 normally. I mean, I initially wanted to do it for 500 because this type of service is usually like $2,000 or, it's much more. 300 is reasonable, especially since it's taken me years to research. And right now I have, 35% off? All right, how about this? How about I take a 60% off and it's $120? So the initial fee. And then you get the invite through email the next day to join the private group, and then it's $10 a month. You get a report, you get all kinds of stuff, trading academy. So all you have to do is add it to your cart. I already added it, and you have to use the link in the description section below this video. And then when you go to check out, you click apply discount code, and it'll automatically discount it to $120. And then you just read the terms and conditions and the disclaimers, all of that. You have to go through like 3 of them. And then you hit accept, and then you get a download immediately, and then by the next day, you'll get an invite to the private group where we're doing all kinds of stuff. Like, I'm uploading videos in the private group now, and we're gonna start doing conferences where we could talk. All right, so yeah, I mean, even mainstream now is they're talking about it, right? The COV. They're talking about it. They're trying to paint it in a light picture, like everything's gonna go back to normal after first quarter. But they are already admitting that first quarter for China at least is going to be like zero growth. Which the damage is already done, guys. It's already enough damage to pop the bubble. So if everything went back to normal like next week, it's already too late. I feel like it's already popped the bubble. The only reason it hasn't popped is because I guarantee you central banks are just, the spigots are wide open. So if the Fed's not doing anything, China's doing something right now, right? And then they take turns, and then they just keep injecting. Maybe they're buying stocks. Like, who knows? But at this point, I feel like they'll do anything. But it doesn't matter. At some point, it's the reality of the situation is, it doesn't matter how much money they print. There's gonna be a correction. And even if there isn't, mining stocks and gold and silver is just gonna shoot to the freaking moon if they prevent it. Now, I guarantee you they're gonna let some sort of correction happen, and then the PPT is gonna come in. They're not gonna let it, they're not gonna let like a 2009 type of like 60% drop happen in 1 month. They'll probably keep putting backstops in. But listen, I mean, if people start dropping like in major cities, like literally, like there's gonna be videos of it, this and that, then it doesn't matter what they do. They're not gonna be able to stop it. So I don't know. I feel like they're just buying themselves time. I feel like nobody's taking it seriously, and that's very concerning. Or it just seems like they're not, because they're just trying not to cause a panic. I'm not trying to cause a panic. I'm hoping for the best. Hopefully, the warm weather and it mutates and this will just go away like by summer. It's a very possibility. I don't know what the percentages are. I want that to happen more than anything. Because, I mean, we all have family and, but, and not just that. I don't want to, nobody wants to go through that type of situation. It would be like hell on earth. Um, that's the best. That's like the perfect outcome, especially for mining stocks and trading and all that. If this kind of goes away, like, and then by summer. Now, I don't think it's going to go away in for the next month or two. I think it's just going to, keep accelerating. And at some point, there's going to be a panic, probably like 6 weeks from now. I mean, if a bunch of tests come back in the next few weeks and the US has like hundreds or maybe even 1,000 confirmed cases, then people are going to panic. The market's going to panic too. And it's not going to matter what they do, QE wise or not QE wise, whatever. All right. All right. So join the private group. Because here's the reason why. Because the mining stocks, I mean, it looks like this is the moment we have all been waiting for, where mining stocks are just going to explode. And so is gold and silver. That's what it looks like. I could be wrong. So let's cover a little more of the news, and then I'll do some TA. I'll even look at BTC. By the way, just talking about the new alternative currencies like B.T.C is also now being like censored. It's crazy, guys. All right, anyways. So shipping, it's just, I mean, it's coming to a halt. That's why oil and energy is dropping. Look at this. Adidas, Nike and Adidas, those shoes in the sweatshops. 85% crash activity. Like, you guys understand there's going to be empty shelves in like a few weeks or months if this continues. Like, of shoes, of everything. And just the human psychology, when you start seeing like empty shelves in stores, nobody's used to that. That alone's going to start a panic. People are going to say, hey, what's going on? So it can't be covered up forever. Japanese are losing faith in their currency. It crashed against gold, and gold hit record highs. And by the way, the central banks, they want to end up like Japan. They just don't understand that the West can't do that. Europe can't do that, neither can the US. It's not going to end up like Japan, of like decades of just stagflation, and nothing shakes the water nothing shakes the boat too much, and we don't have a painful correction. That's what they want. They just want to slowly roll into a Japanification, stagflation type of economy, and then for the next like 2 decades, inflation is high, but there isn't high, and like unemployment's pretty much, it's going to be higher, but it's not like at the point where there's like massive crash and rioting in the streets, right? But I don't think they're going to be able to pull it off, especially with this Black Swan event. That's funny. Actually, I don't want to talk about it. Never mind. So the FOMC minutes were revealed, and they were very bland and boring, and like it's literally like they're trying to avoid telling the markets anything and keeping everyone calm. I guarantee you, behind closed doors, they're freaking out right now. Japanese, crazy conditions. There's some awesome trading opportunities with these cruises coming up. What else? Now this is crazy. They're deploying machines that burn things, and they bought a bunch, mobile ones. Now guys, come on. There's smog all over the cities. Nobody's driving. It's like ghost town everywhere. Everyone's shut in their homes, welded in their homes. And I mean, the videos, like people who aren't in the newsroom, like the thousands of people who watch my videos, they don't know what I'm talking about. You guys don't understand how many videos are out there of inside. It's insane. It looks like the end of the world, literally. Like every building's doors are welded shut. Like there's been smog all over the cities. Like from space, the satellite took a picture, and the smog is from pits that are burning. Now, what do you think is inside of them? I'll give you a clue. They're not having massive barbecues. I mean, they are, but not what you think. So, like, seriously. So, and they got 40. So the I guess I'm just gonna say the incinerators have been running 24/7. All of them in the entire country, all of them, for like weeks now, and now they're pulling out mobile ones. So that doesn't line up with this data. 2000, I highly doubt it. Like I said, 10x all these numbers, guys. Right now it's at 75,000. So I'm assuming 700, maybe 1 million confirmed, or probably more, who knows. And then this, guys, I have no idea, but I guarantee you it's multiples higher. All right, it's just they're not telling anyone. They're not trying to panic anyone in the world. All right, who bought the 1.3 trillion in debt of that was spent last year? Probably central banks. Not just that, this year we're going to have, I think, a close race, which is also probably going to scare the markets. Like, the presidency for the US. I have to be careful the way I say things, guys. Okay, any chances that the market thinks he's going to get elected, it'll just crash, which will be actually good for the nation moving forward. I would rather put up 4 more years with him and everything going to crap, because then he gets the blame and then we might actually get more freedom and back to free markets. Even though we don't have free markets now or anything like that. But the free market's going to get blamed. Just listen to Peter Schiff. He really lays it down good. All right. I just don't want to talk about that because I have a small channel. I want to grow still. And if I do talk about it, guess what? You guys wonder why I don't talk about a lot of things? It's because I can't, because my channel's small. I want to grow a little bigger, Stocks up, bonds up, gold up, dollar up, oil up. Yeah, I'll talk about that in a second. So 10 important questions. I'll post this in the newsroom. So WTI extends gains. Really? Oil is up. Never mind. Commodities are up. I wonder why. Well, you want to know why? The supply chain's broken. That's why. And the demand is still there, let's say, in other countries, not mainland. Hong Kong, Japan, Singapore, and South Korea. Once those fall, it means you're running out of time, to prepare. I mean, you should be prepared now. I'm not even fully prepared, and I'm getting nervous. Like, I'm going to buy, like, a year's supply of food, and that costs a lot, like $1,500. Also why I'm putting a huge discount. Like, I don't want to sell stocks right now because I'm making mad gains. So, to buy, prepper stuff and more self-defense. All that stuff is extremely expensive. All right. Yeah, so the markets are still green. Here's S&P 500 for today. It's green. But don't worry. I think by this Friday, no one's going to want to hold over the weekend. I think you're crazy if you do. Unless everyone's still just not paying attention to this COV, right? Now check this out. Supply chain disruptions. Computers, telecom hardware, all electronics, most of it comes from mainland. Those are going to get hit the hardest. Even semiconductors. All of that. So take that in consideration if you're looking for things to short, take short positions on and take some possible options maybe. Only for experience, guys. I'm not saying do that. Disclaimer, first of all, I'm not a licensed financial advisor. I'm not a scientist, doctor. I'm a nobody, all right? This is my opinion. I could be completely wrong. Also, we're just theorizing. This is more about looking at macroeconomics. And do not trade or invest anything you're not willing to lose or lose sleep over. Consult your licensed financial advisor before doing anything. And have stops and place motions. Like, guys, know what you're doing, because this could get very volatile very soon. Like, things could get whipsawed around. It's not going to be easy. I'm not even all that confident in myself that I'm going to be able to pull this off to where I walk away with, like, life-changing gains in the next 2 months. Although I'm already seeing the beginning stages of life-changing gains. Like, today I made a lot. But, I don't know. It's just going to be, it's not going to be easy, but it's all about timing, because this COV is very, it makes it difficult, and you have to be quicker than the herd. Now, I'm always quicker than the herd, but when if this COV thing really starts spreading like it did in mainland China, then you got to change your strategy quickly. You know what I mean? In the end, I might just take profits from my mining stocks and sell everything, go to cash, go to physical. It all depends on how bad this COV thing gets. And you have to stay on top of this. I'm on top of it every day. That's why I research this and care about this so much. Because it really changes the dynamics and everything very quickly. But when these types of things happen, that's when the most money is made. Because the markets are so complacent. And so, I mean, guys, they're in euphoria right now. They think nothing can stop this. And even with bad news, and then even more bad news, and with the world industrial engine literally at a standstill halt, with no supply lines coming back into the U.S. and Europe, they're bidding up stocks, guys, just because they're going to print more money, the central banks. You can't fix the economy from crashing, the real one, with just injecting money into it. It's not going to work. Reality is going to hit, and I think it's going to hit real soon. All right. That's my personal opinion. Could be wrong. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I mean, everything's working out right now. So the VIX is still down. Market held up today. Yields just dropping. The yield curve's just inverting. The dollar continues to stay strong. It's sort of slowed down its rally, but that's because it hit resistance and gold broke out. Like, it went up. I mean, we're going to look at the gold chart. But first, let's look at here's a 12-hour chart of the S&P 500. Let's start with the monthly and move our way down. Here's the monthly. Last month was a correction, a 9 sell. And right now we started the next month, but sometimes it does this where the 9 sell happens, then the next wick, it wicks up a little bit, you get a blow off top, and then it dumps. Either way, it's coming soon, and I guarantee you within the next 4 weeks or 6. But I think this Friday it should start correcting. But you can't ever anticipate the amount of manipulation. The weekly is, I would say, neutral. It's neutral, but this MACD could cross down to the downside at any given moment, and it's fairly overextended. The oscillators, the volume, and all of that momentum oscillator. Let's take a look at a 3-day chart. The 3-day chart, which most people don't look at, is on a 9 sell according to the TDI indicator, and the oscillators are pretty overextended. All the volume, momentum, RSI. So this is a good sign that Friday, I mean, take back Friday, right? You don't want to hold over the weekend. I feel like a lot of people are going to take profits, possibly Thursday and Friday, tomorrow. Today's Wednesday, it's the 19th. Let's go to a daily chart. Daily is still on a sell. I mean, we passed up the 9 sell, but the price is still below the previous candle, previous 9 sell on the S&P 500 here on the daily. And my heat map is screaming red sell, and the oscillators are still overextended, so it's gonna reset like any day now, right? Here's Apple. It's unbelievable. I mean, they cut their guidance for next quarter, and all of their manufacturing is in mainland, and there's going to be shortages of. I mean, but it's still getting bid up. I literally, guys, I don't want to look. I'll put on my tinfoil hat. Who in their right mind would be buying this right now? I don't know. I don't know who would be holding this right now. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if nefarious organizations are just buying, not actual hedge funds and people. They're still holding. I don't know why. Like I said, it's euphoria. But this 90-degree, I mean, come on, guys. It's coming to an end soon. Mark my words. If you want to chase the last 10%, last 5, or just keep holding, hoping for, I don't know, a miracle at this point, then you do that. You do you. But this just can't. It's unbelievable. MACD is about to cross to the downside on the weekly for Apple here. And once Apple goes, it's going to take the rest of the market. Once this trillion weighted market cap has a correction, it's going to take the rest with it. Here's all the trillion-dollar companies. Here's Apple, Alpha, JP Morgan, Amazon, Microsoft, Berkshire. Well, these two, they're not. Well, I don't know if Berkshire is a trillion. Probably is. I know JP isn't. Anyways, but these companies, right? Look at this, guys. Parabolic, straight up, 90-degree. These always end the same way, and they take the elevator down. And all it takes is these 4 to correct 5, 10%. The rest of the market's just going to dump. All right? Now, it's funny. Okay, well, let's talk about the dollar real quick. The dollar, if it gets back to the 100 handle, I mean, it could break higher. And it doesn't surprise me because in this very uncertain world with this COV and the world's supply chain frozen and the world's engine completely on lockdown, nobody going to work, it's a safe haven. Knee-jerk reaction, right? So if the dollar goes even higher, it wouldn't surprise me. Now, it's funny that the dollar is rallying and now so are metals at the same time. That just shows you how strong metals are right now with this breakout. Here's the Russell 2000 mid-sized companies in the U.S. This is more domestic. This has never made an all-time high. The previous all-time high was August of 2018, around 1,750. Right now it's at 1,680. And that just shows you the real underlying real economy in the U.S. is not that strong. Yes, it's getting dragged up with the rest of the market, but it can't even make a new high while the rest of the market just keeps making new highs. So this is the canary in the coal mine. And the black swan is the COV. As soon as this corrects, and it's going to, it should take the rest of the market with it. Here's the FANG index. Once this index corrects, and let's take a look at the TA on this. Look at the RSI. Look at this. Insane. Extremely overextended. All of my oscillators extremely overextended on the FANG index. This is a weekly chart, by the way. Every candlestick's a week. And we're on the TD9 sell. So 1 to 4 to 9 possible correction candles. So 1 to 4 weeks or 9 weeks of downside, or who knows. It could just keep going. And this is a parabolic move as well. This is unsustainable. All of it is. And you know what? If the Fed somehow, if the central banks want to sustain a 90-degree buying spree for next few months, so be it. Mining stocks are going to explode if they do that. All right. But it's not sustainable. It's just not. Never in human history is that ever sustainable. Straight move up. Okay, you eventually run out of buyers, and you only get sellers, and everyone starts heading for the exits all at once. All it takes, guys, is people in a major city to start dropping in crowded areas where everyone freaks out and takes videos and pictures. I'm telling you. All right, here's gold on the left, weekly chart. Silver on the right. Silver, it hit 1847.50. I mean, it's breaking out, guys. It broke above my major resistance area. Gold here broke above 1600, my major resistance area. And I told you guys, once it breaks above that, we might see a huge, it might just shoot straight up. Like gold could shoot up a couple $100. Silver, I don't know, 5. Could shoot straight up to 20. And those moves alone will be enough for the mining stocks. By the way, the mining stocks are still near all-time lows compared to the price of silver and gold themselves. And that's why I think mining stocks are going to explode as soon as this correction comes. But the move today that I saw in mining stocks is confirmation that speculators are starting to look at mining stocks again. Because it's the only undervalued asset class, really. Here's the ETFs. You can see this is daily charts of all the ETFs. Except don't look at these two. These are inverse ETFs. But these 3 up top here and this one right here on the bottom left corner. Look at this. Look how much it shot up. Look at this price just shooting up. Guys, that's a signal that we're about to have some huge moves to the upside. In a next leg up in the bull market. Look at this one. And this is just the beginning. Alright. Back to gold here. Now I know the heat map is telling me that it's overextended. Now granted, if the market really does tank, yeah, mining stocks and so can futures market for metals drop, but I don't think it's going to happen in the beginning, which this is the beginning. I think in the beginning, gold and silver is going to rally in a major way. And then later, if things get too crazy and the market really starts accelerating to the downside, then yeah, it'll take everything down with it. But before that happens, you could get some major gains that could last for the next few weeks or months. Like I said, guys, it's not going to be easy, but this is where you get huge moves. And I showed you guys where I thought we were on gold. Let me go to a monthly chart. So if we go back to the last bull market, right? This was the bull market beginning of 2000 all the way till 2011 in gold. Around this area, this is a monthly chart, every candlestick's a month. I think we're right around here. We're right around this area. So we're going to shoot up and then maybe a huge correction with the rest of the market. Because everyone's going to sell everything all at once because they're going to get margin calls, right? And then they just have to sell everything to meet their margin requirements because everyone's leveraged to the, like, above their heads. They're drowning in debt and leverage. And then the central bank is going to come out with endless money printing and then back into a bull market. So I think we're around this area. Now, can it play out differently? Like it just goes straight up? Yes, it can. And that is if the central bank just starts printing and the PPT comes in, plunge protection, right? And they don't let the market correct anywhere. Like they don't let the market correct. Like it corrects, let's say 20, 25, maybe even 30%, but that's it. Like they'll just do holidays. They'll just put in the stop. They'll change the rules. Like you won't be able to short anything. And then they'll prop it up, right? As soon as they do that, metals will go straight up again. All right. So strategy is for your like portfolio for trading this and that. Well, personally, it has to be very dynamic. You kind of have to do a little bit of everything. Have cash, have some leveraged options, have some leveraged ETFs. These are for experienced guys. Like I'm talking about guys who have been trading for like 6 years. And then having your long positions for mining stocks and ETFs that aren't leveraged, and getting ready to take profits like a large chunk of your portfolio, and then leaving maybe another large chunk for the long term. It's not going to be easy, okay? So position and sizing, portfolio allocation, and this is just for mining stocks. Then there's everything else, right? The stocks you've been long on in the equities markets, like the big tech stocks, semiconductors, I don't know, whatever you're holding. FANG stocks. If I've been holding for the last 10 years, I would take some off the table at least, personally. But I could be wrong, guys. Completely wrong. Consult your licensed financial advisor, all right? All right, so I think comparing it to the last bull market, we're like around here maybe. Or here. But I think we're right around here. Comparing it, right? So anything that I'm holding that is a trade, I plan on taking profits in the next few weeks or months. But the move has just begun. Your bullish position from gold, silver, mining ETFs and stocks, right? All right, so that's pretty much it. Well, let me talk about this right here. Wow, that's crazy. They just bid it up. Again, guys, it's at 9,600 right now. Literally 20 minutes ago, it was at 9,600. Yeah, I think it's done. Like I said in my last video. Here's a daily chart. 200-day moving average about to cross my blue equilibrium line. If we take it to my weekly, and this thing never fails me. Well, it's a high probability. It can, but I know these are extremely manipulated. It's on a 7 count as well on the weekly. So 2 weeks of sideways, maybe a little bit of back up, but then it's on the 9 count. Should be a sell-off. So I don't know. I'm not messing with these anymore. Now, there's stocks, guys, that if they just get EPA approval, could explode back to their previous all-time highs in the private group. Well, if this COV just continues to run rampant around the world. All right, guys. So take advantage of this opportunity because I'm not going to keep it long. I think I'll take it off Sunday. I don't know. We'll see. Probably. All right, guys. So a 60% discount. Guys in the newsroom and the free chat groups, links are all below this video, and the discount link is also below this video in the description section. Until next time. Also, I posted videos. I'll continue to post videos about this COV that are, I think, the best information you could get about it. And you'll be ahead of the masses, right? So you could prepare. And these numbers continue to rise.